Episode 143, Southwest Virginia Jeep Invasion. Not the Southwest Virginia Jeep Invasion, but the Southwest Virginia Jeep Invasion. Scientists have mixed the DNA of a cheetah and a crab. Yeah, the experiment went sideways really fast. Hello and welcome to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki G. I'm here to inform, entertain, and delight your ear holes with all things off-road for the next 10 minutes or so. Why 10 minutes? Well, I had a 10-minute joke lined up, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, it had something to do with that's about how long most off-road people have until their vehicle breaks down. But yeah, it's getting lamer and lamer. I'd like to promise to do better, but you and I both know that's not going to happen. Now's the time where I employ my AI interns to give you the legal boilerplate mumbo jumbo, but I don't have to because I lost the file. So yeah, I got a new computer, switching things over. I can't seem to find it, so I might put it in post. I might not, or I could just wing it.
I'd like to say you can follow us on all the social media platforms, but you and I both know that's a lie. I don't do social media. I hardly even keep up with my own personal Facebook page. We have a website, 10minuteoffroadpodcast.com, where you could listen to the latest episode and see some nice pictures that are about 10 years old. As I don't update the website, you can leave us a message through the website. And when I say leave us, I mean you leave my daughter a message because she's the one who runs the website for me. And you can listen to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on whatever the hell you're listening to it on now. I post it on YouTube. I put it on Spotify, and I think Spotify sends it out to a bunch of other different hardly ever known, lesser known podcast platforms. I can't remember if I'm on iHeartRadio or not. I don't think I'm on iHeartRadio, but Apple Podcast and Spotify, and who knows? What if you're listening to it now? Then that point's kind of moot.
All right, so moving on. Just got back last week from the southern west. That's not right. It's the Southwest Virginia Jeep Invasion. It's up in the southwest corner of Virginia. Almost, it's just a few miles from the West Virginia border, so you might as well say West Virginia. It's the Southwest Virginia Jeep Invasion, or the southwestern Virginia Jeep Invasion. Either one will apply. Up in Tazewell, Virginia. It's a nice, pleasant drive up there. I enjoyed it. Got lost bigger than crap. But, if you know me, that's not new. Sometimes I feel like I go out of my way to get lost. Got lost, stumbled across a Forest Service road that I was previously on. I recognized it. Guy at Maps told me that I'd been on it before, and so I just kind of followed it to till I came out where I was kind of vaguely familiar, and then found my way back. Now you say, Nick, how come you just didn't use GPS or your Google Maps? Well, I was, but I got off the wrong exit. I kind of bushwhacked it a little bit. I got off a couple of exits early to get gas. And I thought, well, if I just travel west and north, I'll hit Tazewell. And that wasn't the case. Kind of forgot that going through the Jefferson National Forest, through the mountains, roads don't really take you out where you think you're going to come out at. And yeah, long story short, I was lost bigger than crap. Then again, if you know me, you know that's not new. And it sucks for the people that are driving behind me, following me, because I don't think they realize how lost I am. All right, so getting back to the Jeep Invasion. Last year I said I wasn't going to go again this year, but I had the time off, nothing to do. I figured I might as well go up there, see what's going on, and camp at one of my favorite camp places. And so I went for it. I gotta tell you, this Jeep show was better than last year's. It seemed a lot more organized. There's a lot more vendors, although a few more Jeep related vendors, but not as much as I'd like, but it was still good. The one thing I didn't like was the lack of food trucks. There was always a couple of food trucks. This year there was like two or three dessert places and then one barbecue place. Which, barbecue's not bad, but I don't know. I opted out not to get anything to eat there and pressed on. And I think I ate at McDonald's, which, yeah, I know that's like, yeah, yeah, I did. I did eat at McDonald's. I come across a McDonald's in, I think, Saltville. And anyhow, so I digress. A lot of Jeeps there, a lot of nice Jeeps, there's quite a few show Jeeps and then ordinary people Jeeps, a couple of old antique Jeeps that I enjoy looking at, and a couple old military ones. I said this year it was a little bit better. Now I didn't stick around for the competition. They had like an audio competition last year where they hard to explain, but I didn't stick around any of that because it was starting to rain. It was raining all the way up there. It stopped raining when I got there, so I spent a good couple hours up there. And then when it started to rain, I hightailed it out. And like I said, I was heading down to the Mount Rogers recreation area to find one of my favorite campsites. And I hope it was open. And I got down there and it was open, but it was a light mist rain. So before I even took anything out of the Jeep, I got out of the Jeep, got something to drink, had a little snack, turned on the weather radio, and flash flood warnings were in our area. And I was parked right next to a creek that was already swollen up a little bit. So I got kind of nervous. I sat there and I looked around, see if I could find some higher ground. And I started thinking, well, even if the creek doesn't rise high enough, there's a lot of trees around. Something could fall. Smashing my Jeep wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would leave me stranded. And worse yet, if a tree fell on me, I would be stranded. And there was really nobody camping on this road. It was virtually empty. I guess the weather scared everybody away. And so I started thinking, well, if something happened to me, it would be days before anybody found me. I got a little scared. Usually, thoughts like that don't bother me too much. I think I'm too dumb to be scared of stuff like that. It started gnawing on me, so I didn't unload the Jeep. A mile down the road, or I should say 2 miles down the road, is a Hurricane campground, and it's a paid campground. I drove down the road, got on the Star, pulled out the Starlink, went on, I think it's recreation.gov, found a campsite. It was only $28 a night for a tent site. So I picked a tent site that looked like it was close to a restroom. They had two bathhouses, one in the front of the campground, one in the back. So I picked one that was close to it, and I said for $28, I'll go, and this way, if anything happens, there's a host at the campsite at the campground that would check on people, and there's probably other campers around. So if something did happen, there's safety in numbers. And the downside to that is I'm not a people person. So, if there's rude people by me, there's probably going to be a shouting match. But I went to the campground. It was nice and clean. This was my first time staying at a paid campsite. And so I didn't really know what to expect. So I just drove in. There was nobody. I figured there'd be somebody at the gate, direct me where to go. And I drove in. I knew I had camp spot 25. Found it, pulled in, just set up, and I tell you, there was people camped next to me. When I say next to me, they were I don't know, a good, quite a few yards away. Not like we were right on top of each other. And there was people across the street from me, but I didn't see anybody. And then later on, I guess people next to me were hiking. They came in. They were really, really quiet, and I almost felt like everybody was kind of whispering. So it was real quiet, peaceful, set up. I went and gathered up some firewood. There's a lot of deadfall in the woods behind me. I don't know if was allowed to process it or not, but I did. Got the old saw and axe. processed some firewood, got a nice little campfire going, and then it started raining. And when I mean raining, I mean it poured. A storm came through. I jumped into the Gazelle and hunkered down for the night. Just watched a little bit of Netflix. And I gotta tell you, even though it poured in the morning, my campfire was still warm. I had no problem starting it back up. But during the rainstorm, probably about 11 o'clock at night, the people across the street came back, and they were on motorcycles. Driving motorcycles in the rain had to really suck. But they came in, and man, they were drunk and loud. But they were only loud for about maybe an hour, and then they passed out, and everything was back to normal. And like I said, I was sitting in my tent watching Netflix, so it really wasn't bothering me too much. I just had my headphones on. By about 6 o'clock in the morning, the rain let up quite a bit. I wouldn't say stopped, but it was kind of like a real heavy mist. And I jumped out of my tent and I packed everything up in record speed and got the hell out of there before it started raining again. The next day when I got home, I had to take out my tent and everything and dry everything out. I hate putting stuff away wet, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, so I believe this is probably going to be about 10 minutes long, but you know the drill. I've rambled on long enough, so I'm going to let you go. Until next time, this is Nikki G saying thank you for listening, and wheel what you got and be happy.